It's okay. Not a question. I have to go. I have to
Just a
leave.
heads up.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
And I'm getting
bye.
a thumbs up. Thanks, Director Coyne. So we're back online. We will move straight back into our regular agenda. Item F is CAO reports. And CAO, I'll turn it over to you.
Nothing new from me, Mr. Chair.
Okay, other business.
Were
Did
you
I miss
supposed
some?
to, were you supposed to still mention in regards to closed? You were gonna make a statement.
Oh, the statement, I forgot to read it out at the beginning. Where did I put it? I'll read it out belatedly. The reason we'd went in camera was closing the meeting to the public on the basis of labor relations and other relations and the security of the property of the regional district. Thanks for that reminder, Director Roberts. Down to item G, which was other business, Chair's report. I think the only thing I was going to mention was the fact, and most of the mayors are aware, we've had one, and today would have been a second meeting with the emergency folks, in just as general updates. It conflicted today, so none of us made it. I'm assuming you guys, mayors I'm speaking to, probably had someone else take that position. We couldn't, so I'll have to catch up from some of those folks that did attend if there was something interesting. Board representations, which is Municipal Finance Authority, that happens at UBCM, same with MIA. Okanagan Basin Water Board,
No meeting this month.
no meeting this month. Okanagan Film Commission, Director Gettens.
Thanks. You probably heard in the news about the strikes and everything that are happening with the writers and actors. So I did ask John about it. With what we shoot in the Okanagan, he doesn't think it'll impact us too much. Most of our actors are Canadian, although I did hear some rumbling in the news that some of the Canadian writers are joining the cause as well. So he'll keep us posted on that. But that's kind of why those Hallmark movies and everything are such good bread and butter for us. So just as an update.
Okay, thanks for that. Okanagan Regional Library, Director Monteith.
Nothing this month.
Nothing this month. Sterile insect release, Director Bush.
I have a meeting tomorrow, so
So
bring forward something later.
all right. Simia, anything there, Director Knodel?
Nothing there.
All right. Starling Control, Director Bush.
And nothing there.
Etsy. Who's going to report on that? We got Director Johansson. We haven't heard from you today. Anything to report?
Well, I'd probably defer to Director McCordoff, but we
Okay.
had a meeting earlier in June, and we approved, the board approved a whole bunch of funding, which I think has been rolled out, and everybody should be aware of that. And there's a fall session that has to come as well, and that'll happen obviously in the fall. And I haven't had a date when that meeting takes place. Maybe Director McCordoff might know that.
Okay. Anything to add to that?
November.
All right.
November.
It's in November.
So we did an all right job. Thumbs up. Perfect. That does it for that. Director's motions. Any director's motions today? I do believe Director Bush had one coming up. Go ahead.
Yes, and I didn't bring my glasses, so I'll do my best.
Hit your button for the microphone.
Thank you for that. Mr. Chair, I would provide notice that I'll be bringing a motion to send a letter of support for the Athena Farm Holdings Limited application, which is a sub-application to the Lower Smelcomine Indian Band application to the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund. The Athena Farms property has succumbed to the annual flooding of the Smelcomine River, rendering the farm unviable for the future. The Athena Farms application is applying for financial assistance to allow them to donate their property to Ducks Unlimited, who would construct a wetland. But first, I move that we suspend S.6.6 of the board procedure bylaw to allow this motion to be considered at this meeting due to the open window for the application to Infrastructure Canada under the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund program.
So I'm assuming that's closing fairly quick, so we needed to deal with it
Yes.
today. Okay, so you're moving that we deal with it today. Is there a seconder for that? Seconded. Great. Any discussion on, this is just dealing with it today? Everybody's okay with that? I'll call a question. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now the actual letter of support.
Yeah, I move that the regional district send a letter of support for the Athena Farm Holdings Limited application to the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund Program.
Okay, moved. Is there a seconder for that? Seconded. It's on the floor. Any discussion or questions? Just for confirmation for my own, I believe that's the one just across the Chipaka Bridge on the right-hand side.
Yes.
And it annually, I think this year they actually tried to dike quite a bit along there, but it annually floods.
Yeah.
And it's problematic,
It's
even on non-high river years almost.
With the bridge there, it's a choking point of the river, which backs up, and it's always a problem.
Okay. Just so everybody's clear where it's at and what we're talking about. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question on the letter of support. All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other director's motions? Thank you, Director Bush, for that. Director Roberts, go ahead.
Thank you to the chair. I'd like to make a notice of motion.
Sure.
Whereas a motion was approved in 2019 to research land and need for a fire hall upgrade and replacement in Parameus and the shared protective services of Area G, B, and the village. And whereas the fire underwriters had brought in a report to the fire department in regards to the necessary failings of the fire hall that we have at the moment in time, the need for a new and the best choice for property. I'd like to be able to make a motion that, and especially again, sorry, that we also have the growing community funds made available for us. It's a perfect time because the longer we wait, the more things cost. And I'd like to make a motion that we start the process to proceed towards the research and the setting up of a new fire hall and placement and all that is needed in regards to setting the framework so that we could actually take it to the public, because of course that'll end up having to be a referendum. This has been nearly five, this is 4.5 years, and we would really like to see this move to the forefront. Thank you.
Okay, so that's just a notice of motion, if I'm not mistaken what you'd said. So we'll see more on it in the future. Excuse me, anything more as far as notices of motion? CAO?
I'm not sure. Director Roberts, have you sent that in to Ms. Malden, that resolution? The notice?
No, I will now.
Did you?
I've jotted out a bunch of things. I was hoping she was there to fix up my language.
Well, if you email it to her, she'll fix your language. Add that to the note. Please correct as needed. Any other director's motions? Seeing none. Board members' verbal updates. Anything to report from your communities? Director Federico.
Just a reminder to Area E residents that we currently have a survey open for our OCP draft. So we are looking for feedback there. So our official community plan. And then we also have a survey open right now for the liquid waste management plan. So we're looking for feedback there.
Okay, good to know. Good heads up. Director Coyne Jr.
Yeah, so not from a community, but from Silga. We spent 2 days up in Vernon area doing strategic planning and whatnot. We are going to try as a board to kind of do what UBCM is doing, and I think it's the Northern Government Association, where they have advocacy days where they go to Victoria and they lobby on behalf of the region. We're going to focus more on trying to bring more of that advocacy to a part of our role. Right now we write letters and we do the resolutions and all that, but we want to try to get more involved in bringing awareness of issues from the region into Victoria's, I guess, gaze. So we're going to be working on that, and yeah, and we're just trying to be better advocates for all of us, not just a few issues. So.
Okay, thanks for the update on that. Director Bloomfield.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd just like to remind everybody that this week we saw the approval of Penticton being included in the CAR 40 programs, the provincial program. We're pairing mental health specialists with the RCMP on wellness checks. And we've been working for this for close to 2 years now. But those resolutions that went through SILGA and UBCM, and they were obviously, they helped, and I want to thank everybody for their support that they've given to the City of Penticton in that program. And yeah, we had the, immediately after the announcement, well, actually yesterday morning, we had Minister Whiteside, the Minister of Mental Health and Addictions in Penticton to discuss the implementation of the program. And so it's really, I think it's going to roll out very quickly. And it will obviously be of a great benefit to the neighboring rural areas to the city as well. So they fall under the same policing. So welcome news, and yeah, and let's hope that we get some more announcements like that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good news. Great. Any further updates from communities? Director Monteith.
And I'd like to thank the CAO Newell for attending my Cleveland Park and Recreation Commission meeting. We had staff come out and CAO, and it was great to have his presence because I think the residents felt heard and supported. So that was great. And after staff left, it was really great conversations, which was not like the prior meeting. So I appreciate that. And yeah, it was a long night, but it was definitely worth it. Thank you.
Good news. Thank you. Director Holmes.
Just a question to Director Bloomfield, if I may, on the CAR
Sure.
40 program. Do you know if, like, do they have to recruit mental health workers, or they use existing ones that are in the community already, or how does that work?
Interior Health have posted the positions, and so they are actively recruiting right now. Yeah. I think it's 3.2 FTEs.
Interesting. Not seeing any other hands, so looking for a motion to adjourn. He's quick on that. Seconded. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everybody, for your patience and attention today. Oh.